Faculty Marshal. Faculty Marshal. Good morning, and please remain standing. With the Marshal's placing of the University Mace, we officially open the 2019 Spring Commencement exercises at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Our graduates and students, members of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, and representatives of the faculty, administration, and staff are pleased to welcome you. To begin our ceremonies, Kearney Casper, Darian Myers, and Minori Yamauchi will perform the national anthem. Kearney Casper of Henderson, Nebraska has earned a Bachelor of Music and will graduate honorable mention with a music education K-12 field endorsement. Kearney is the daughter of Barbara and Chad Casper. Darian Myers is from Sutherland and is the daughter of Chris and Delta Myers. A communication disorders major, Darian has earned a Bachelor of Science in Education and is graduating summa cum laude. Minori Yamauchi of Japan is the daughter of Junji and Mihoko Yamauchi. An honorable mention graduate, Minori has earned a Bachelor of Music with a musical theater comprehensive major. Our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Kearney, Darian, Minori, thank you for a wonderful performance. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce Douglas Christensen, 9th Chancellor of the University of Nebraska at Kearney, and you may all be seated.
Good morning. It's a privilege to welcome all of you to our 2019 Spring Commencement exercises. Thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to come be with us for the greatest day in the life of a university, commencement. It's the day that we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. Tierney, Darren, Miomi, what an outstanding performance. That was just tremendous. Well done. Let's give them another hand. That was super. It's great to have you as students here at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Commencement's very exciting, and it's not only for the graduates, but it's for every one of you who have a student here, who have inspired, supported, guided financially, emotionally, in whatever way that you've aided your student. But today we're here to celebrate their accomplishments. Their goals have been met, they have sacrificed. We would probably have a great day if we would sit down with every one of the graduates this morning and have them talk to us about their path. They would be inspiring. Each graduate has a different story, and each has been inspiring in their own way. Some of you have traveled halfway around the world. Some of you have come from across the street. Some of you have served in our country's military. But most of you have held a part-time, sometimes full job, in order to afford the tuition and the expenses of the investment in your education. Those sacrifices are great indeed, and we understand that. But what you've learned is that you now have something that will pay tremendous dividends to you. To the families and friends of our graduates, thank you. Thank you for coming and supporting today. Know that we're here and we're as proud of your graduate as you are. Everyone in our UNK community is proud of our graduates because their success is our success. Graduates, on behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the administration, thank you for choosing the University of Nebraska at Kearney. It's a wonderful institution, and you can attest to that. But most of all, it has been our honor to serve you. Congratulations. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Chancellor Christensen. To bring greetings on behalf of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, we are pleased to welcome Board Vice Chairman, Regent Jim Pillen of Columbus. Regent Pillen.
Good morning. On behalf of your University of Nebraska Board of Regents, it's my pleasure to welcome our graduates, our faculty, and all of our graduates, family, and friends to the University of Nebraska Kearney Commencement, a home of the loafers, a great institution, and a great day for celebration. Graduates' experience would tell me that each day going forward, you will have a greater gift of appreciation of today, and each day going forward, you will have a much greater appreciation about how proud your parents and your family are of you and how much their buttons are popping today. So thank you for taking time to walk, to celebrate, and congratulations to parents and family. This is indeed a special moment in raising your family. As a person who spent 9 years going to higher education, when I was in your seat, I could not wait to get away from the faculty. But sitting and as experience taught and having the privilege to serve on your Board of Regents, I have a picture of incredible appreciation, quite honestly, envy of the work that you do, transforming lives and impacting our families and our students and our state. You are incredible public servants. Thank you for all your work. We are greatly appreciative. And lastly, want to congratulate our students and welcome you. Today is a very, very special day. Please enjoy it. Please celebrate it. But also remember the responsibility that comes with it. And I would be remiss if I wouldn't tell you, whether you have been here for 4 years and came from someplace else, or if you've lived here in Nebraska your whole life, you are now a Nebraskan. You are now a University of Nebraska Kearney graduate for the rest of your life. We need you to live, work, and raise your families in Nebraska. If you go away for a little bit, that's okay. But this is a special place. When you are in Nebraska, you understand it. So we look forward to welcoming you tomorrow into the workforce. We look forward to welcoming you into our communities, and you We look forward to you making a huge difference for the future of our state. Thank you. Go Lopers.
We also wish to recognize other special guests and members of our platform party who will not be introduced later in the ceremony. I ask that they stand as I call their names. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. On the stage, Board Chairman, Regent Timothy Clare of Lincoln, Regent Paul Kenny of Amherst, Student Body President and Student Regent Nicole Kent of Benkelman, John Watts, UNK Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance, Gilbert Hinga, Dean, Division of Student Affairs, Janet Wilkie, Dean of the Library, Mark Bauer, Director of Athletics. And to my right in section A21, among our special guests, we have Nebraska State Senator John Lowe of Kearney, former Nebraska State Senator Jim Cuddeback of Riverdale, former Nebraska State Senator Joel Johnson of Kearney, former Nebraska State Senator and Speaker of the Legislature, Professor Emeritus Galen Hadley, and Professor Emeritus Marilyn Hadley, former Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance, Earl Rademacher and Joanne Rademacher. Student gonfaloniers are selected by deans and the chancellor on the basis of achievement, activity, and scholarship to carry the banners for their individual colleges. They are seated in the front row, and I ask that they stand and be recognized as I call their names. Again, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. McLean Narber of Phillips, summa cum laude, honors convocation student speaker. Alexis Page of Crete, Graduate College. Hannah Brown of Scottsbluff, summa cum laude, College of Arts and Sciences. Haley Platt of Omaha, summa cum laude, College of Business and Technology. And Julie Bruns of Grand Island, magna cum laude, College of Education. Each commencement, members of the university administration and faculty are invited to nominate students from among the graduates to deliver senior class reflections. Today's speaker is Jeremy Sissel, originally from North Platte and a graduate of North Platte High School. Jeremy is the son of Joseph and Tammy Sissel, husband of Blair Sissel, and father of Bexley Sissel. He will graduate cum laude this morning with a Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training. As Chancellor Christensen mentioned earlier, each student who is graduating today has a different story, and this is true of Jeremy. Active and motivated in terms of campus life and community service, he is a recruiter for the Army National Guard, is a graduate member of Phi Gamma Delta fraternity. He participated in undergraduate research fellows during his junior and senior years and has contributed more than 800 hours of work as an athletic training volunteer. His community service has included the worship team at New Life Assembly Church, community theater, Red Cross, and traveling the world with Up With People. And like many UNK students, he worked part-time as he completed his degree. The most different part of Jeremy's story is his service to his country in the Army National Guard. His UNK education was interrupted not once, but twice, in 2012 and again in 2016, for deployment to active duty in Afghanistan. He is one of the heroes among us, and we are grateful. Please welcome Jeremy Sissel.
Thank you, guys. Good morning to the members of the Board of Regents, Chancellor Christensen, John Bokenkamp, the UNK faculty, the friends and family that we have here today, and finally, good morning to you graduates. You should be excited about that. To those of you that don't know me, which is most of you, my name is Jeremy Sissel, like she said. I'm a recruiter for the Army National Guard, a father of a 1.5-year-old, and the husband to the most beautiful wife. And as of today, a graduate from the University of Nebraska at Kearney. I am incredibly honored to be talking in front of all of you today, but to be completely honest, I don't feel like I deserve it more than the next man or woman. I've never even been to a commencement speech, so I had no idea what to say. And like any reasonable adult, I Googled it. If college has taught me anything, it's Control F and how to use Google. It blows my mind when I tell someone to use Control F and they don't know what I'm talking about. Like, how did you even get this far in life? I would not have been able to graduate without that. So thank you to whoever developed that. Anyway, I Googled ideas for a commencement speech, and what I found was it's a bunch of motivational and inspirational stuff. So get out your pen and paper and write down what I have to say, because it's about to change your lives, okay? Of course, I'm joking, but I do have two things that are personally very important to me, and I think that they've helped me get this far in life. And I will keep this short and sweet. You're welcome. The first thing that I want to say is stay humble. Now, I say that, but I'm not very good at being humble. I am amazing at it. There's a quote by Thomas Carlyle that says, "Every man is my superior, in that I may learn from him." Someone knows something that you don't, just like all of you know something that I don't. And I think that something that's really helped me in my life is that I don't think that I'm better than anyone. And I understand that I have something to learn from each and every single one of you. And I think that's a very important mindset to have. I know that I've had quite a few accomplishments in my life, graduating being one of those. But I also know that I didn't get here on my own accord. God gave me certain traits and abilities. He surrounded me with a family that supports me and motivates me. Teachers and classmates that pushed me to do my best. Shout out to the athletic training program. And He gave me a wife and a daughter that love me unconditionally. And I know that I wouldn't be here without each and every single one of those people. So I don't personally take credit for my accomplishments. All of you should be so proud that you're graduating today. But I would just ask that you humble yourselves and recognize those people that made it possible. Thank your parents, your guardians, those individuals that supported you, and the teachers that helped you along the way. Just stay humble. The second thing that I want to say is be confident. Now, there's a difference between confidence and cockiness, and that difference is humility. That's why that was my first point. But all of you should be confident in yourselves. Be confident that what you've learned these past 4 years, or for some of us, 6, has prepared you to go into the job force and be successful. If you second guess yourself or don't think you're qualified, you're just going to end up living in your parents' basement. And they won't want that. So stay humble and be confident that you are the person for that job. Stay humble and be confident in the decisions that you make. Stay humble and be confident that you will succeed. Just stay humble and be confident. That's all I have for you today, so I just want to say thank you for listening to me. I'm humbly confident that I just changed all of your lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy, and congratulations on your graduation and all that you have achieved. The University Wind Ensemble is an audition band in the Department of Music, Theater, and Dance. Earlier this morning, under the direction of Associate Professor and Director of Bands, Dwayne Bierman, they provided the pre-commencement concert and the processional, and later they will provide the recessional. At this time, they will perform March from the first suite in E-flat by Gustav Holst. Dr. Bierman.
Dr. Bierman, once again, thank you for a wonderful performance. Students, I hope you all realize they stayed an extra day to be able to perform for you today, so they are delaying their summer activities, whatever they may be, to be with us today. Thank you. Jeremy, first and foremost, thank you for your service. That's tremendous. But thank you for choosing the University of Nebraska at Kearney and speaking on behalf of the graduating class. We really do appreciate it. Great job. The Ron and Carol Cope Cornerstone of Excellence Award was established in 2003 and is presented to individuals who have provided significant support, service, and the promotion of UNK, the greater Kearney area, and the state of Nebraska, and the objects of higher education. Like the Copes, whom the award is named, the recipient must be a true cornerstone for our university. This is a university-wide award, and all nominations are reviewed and approved by the Board of Regents. It is the highest campus honor that we have. This morning, I am pleased to present this award to Nancy and Jerry Dulitz. I think all of you who have lived in the Kearney area for any length of time have shopped there. If you haven't, you should. Or you at least know of Nelson's Furniture, a downtown anchor since 1946. You may not know the names of the owners as well as the name of the business, but Nancy and Jerry Dulitz are VIPs in the world of generous service and support to the University of Nebraska at Kearney and to the Kearney community. Jerry is a native of Scotia, Nebraska, has served on the Platte Valley State Bank Board of Directors and the Civil Service Board. Nancy is originally from York and has been an extremely active member in UNK's Senior College and served for many years on the Kearney Concert Association Board of Directors. Both of them attended Kearney State College, with Nancy completing her degree in 1965. They are the parents of 2 adult children, Mike and Jerry Ann. They are the founding members of UNK's Loper football backers, and a majority of their support has been directed towards student athletes and Loper athletics, but they also have given great support across our campus. It is a rare occasion when they miss a home game of any sport. They travel to most on-the-road contests as well. Both personally and through their business, they have given more assistance in fundraising efforts over the years. In 2012, they were the recipients of the Jim Runstrom Distinguished Service Award for their significant role in refurnishing the campus alumni house. Quietly, generously, and under the radar, they continue to be one of the great positive differences and benefit UNK. This morning, it is my distinct honor to recognize Nancy and Jerry Dulitz and present them with the 2019 Ron and Carol Cope Cornerstone of Excellence Award. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a picture right here. So hold that up. You can smile, Jerry. All right, great. Congratulations. Thank you both. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations, Jerry and Nancy. We have several other COPE Award winners in the audience this afternoon or this morning. Would you please stand? I know you're over here somewhere. Would you all please stand up and just be recognized briefly? Thank you. Cornerstone Award winners. There we go. All right. Now, this is a fine moment for the University of Nebraska at Kearney, and one we have not had since 2008. We will confer an honorary degree upon an individual who has distinguished himself through extraordinary achievements in fine arts. Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs, Charles Bisek. Charlie, would you please escort the candidate to the podium and provide the introduction for the honorary degree? The doctoral hood will be placed on the candidate by the University of Nebraska Regents Tim Clare and Paul Kinney. Dr. Bisek.
Chancellor Christensen, it is my honor to introduce writer, screenwriter, executive producer, and creative director Jonathan Bokenkamp as a candidate for an honorary degree, Doctor of Fine Arts. We are proud to call Mr. Bokenkamp one of our own. A native of Kearney and a graduate of Kearney High School, he attended the University of Nebraska at Kearney from 1991 to 1993, taking journalism, art, and music classes. That prepared him for the University of Southern California School of Cinematic Arts, where he graduated with honors in 1995. Since then, he has become one of the top and one of the most well-known young writers in the entertainment industry. His credits include The Blacklist television series, which has been nominated for Golden Globe, People's Choice, and Emmy Awards. numerous stories and screenplays for major motion pictures, and 2 documentaries. Time, imagination, and creativity were his tools when, shortly after he and his family moved back to Kearney from Los Angeles in 2007, he spearheaded efforts to restore the World Theater, a promising but long neglected landmark that was built in downtown Kearney in 1927. Artfully transformed, it reopened in 2012 as a theater that specializes in reviving classic films and featuring new art house releases. It is a fine arts gem and a source of community pride. He remains active with the World Theater as its founder and creative director. Chancellor Christensen, it is my honor to present John Bokenkamp for the honorary degree, Doctor of Fine Arts. Congratulations.
In honor of his outstanding accomplishments and stellar career, in recognition of his uncommon ability to bring joy and entertainment by writing stories on paper that come to life on the screen, in gratitude for his loyalty to the campus and his service to the community, the University of Nebraska hereby confers upon Jonathan Thomas Bokenkamp the honorary degree of Doctor of Fine Arts. Congratulations. Thank you. Go ahead and put him up.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to say a few words.
I'm going to give you this as well to take back. It's my pleasure to welcome now Dr. John Bokenkamp to the stage. Somehow, I've looked out here this morning. For those of you who watch the blacklist, I keep expecting to have red be somewhere in one of the corridors.
I was hoping for a fedora.
Yeah, so if any of you have a fedora, we may give you some attention. Our absolute thrill and honor, I give to you Dr. John Bokenkamp. John?
I'm confident that if my kids had any idea that you guys were going to say so many nice things, they would not have skipped school to be here for this, probably. Thank you, Chancellor Christensen and the Board of Regents, the university. This really is an incredible honor. It means a great deal to me. Especially, I'm not an academic. In fact, I was a guy who at USC wasted countless hours studying, B movies like Motel Hell and Attack of the Crab Monsters. So hopefully this balances something out in the universe. But thank you and welcome to the faculty, alumni, family, and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2019. You did it, right? Congrats on what is, by any measure, a tremendous accomplishment. You worked hard for this. I know that. This crowd knows this. All of these people who have supported you in this journey know that, and they're super proud of you. Which really is why it's an honor to be able to speak to you today. Like I said, I attended UNK. My parents met here when this was Kearney State College. I have friends graduating today, Jesse and Bill. Congratulations. This was and remains to be my home. My professional life is in Los Angeles, and I am a screenwriter. I get paid to make stuff up. And I love writing for TV, but on some days, in all honesty, can be a total dumpster fire, right? There are nonstop rewrites, there are preposterous deadlines, wild personalities, to put it mildly. But the distractions are endless, and so for me, the great thing about working in Hollywood but living here is that it sort of puts all of those distractions in perspective for me, and it helps me remember that my only real goal is just to tell a good story. And for me, the best part of any story is the beginning, right? Because it is filled with firsts, the first kiss, the first crazy roommate, the first day as a college graduate. And today you're starting to write your story. And I can assure you it is the beginning of what will be a wild and unexpected ride. It's, as we say in the business, fade in. You are free to start your career, start your family. Don't know what you want to start? Go explore, travel, make some mistakes. Just think about your story and what you want it to be about. Because whatever you do next, I can promise you it is going to be very different from this. And I wish that I had some great, sage advice, some wisdom I could offer. And I thought about this a lot. And parents, feel free to cover your ears for this part. But really, my only advice I have is this. Don't get a job, okay? Now, I don't mean don't work or make money. Do both. But whatever you do next, this story you're about to write, this dream that I pray you will chase down, man, you better love it, You better love it so much that it is immune to the bills you're going to have to pay and the hours you're going to have to work and what anyone considers to be realistic, because it might not be realistic. I sort of hope it isn't. And I'm sure that this sounds like a plan for disaster, because if you're anything like I was when I graduated from college, you are dead broke. It is likely tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches for the foreseeable future. And it might be a slog, but do yourself a favor and don't worry about the money, because if you're doing something you love, something that makes you want to get up out of bed in the morning, I promise the rest will fall into place. All the rent money and the car payments and the dental plans, all that nonsense adult stuff will work itself out if you love what you do. And I'm telling you this from experience because, trust me, there is no more unlikely way to go out into the world and earn a living than by sitting behind the keyboard of a Mac Classic 2 in your underwear trying to write the next great American screenplay. Sorry for that image. But I had a horrible business plan. I didn't really have a plan. But I was lucky that my parents never really said, yeah, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Go get a job. And so through ignorance or blind passion, and probably a little bit of both, I thought that I would somehow have a career in Hollywood. And weirdly, I got one. Despite the D+ in sophomore English that Vern Planbeck gave me, which I'm not at all still bitter about, but I did grow a career, and it was hard. When I moved to Hollywood, I literally knew nobody. I mean, not a soul. By the time I graduated from USC, I had a degree in film production, which I swiftly used to land a job at Universal Studios, valet parking cars. And one night, I kid you not, after an 8-hour shift, I made $13 in tips. I am sure my parents were so proud. But I was writing during the day, and I was treating my writing like a career, and at night I was making money, although not a lot, and on paper it made 0 sense. I was a college-educated valet parking attendant with over $130,000 in student loans, okay? By the way, I did actually park David Hasselhoff's car, and as a kid, I was a huge Knight Rider fan. That's probably too young for any of you guys, but for me, it was like driving Kit, which was amazing, but the Hoff didn't tip. The point is, it took a lot for me to sort of ignore the temptation to do something more practical, right? Something that may have been a more sensible compromise. But I'm glad I didn't compromise, and you guys shouldn't either. Even when this dream seems utterly impossible, it doesn't matter if you want to open an online business or travel the world or become a professional figure skater. Your dream is going to be very fragile these next couple years. People are going to tell you it won't work, that you're not ready, that it's been done before. Well, guess what? That's nonsense. One of my favorite, this screenwriter, William Goldman, revered screenwriter. He wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Princess Bride, Misery. This guy's great. And in 1983, he wrote a book called Adventures in the Screen Trade, which was sort of his musings about his life in Hollywood as a writer. And one of the things that he said about Hollywood, and it is true in life, he said, nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what movie's going to hit or what actress is going to win the Oscar. Nobody knows what TV show is going to explode. Nobody knows. So you have to believe in your story, whatever it is, and when people tell you it's not going to happen, please remember William Goldman. Nobody knows anything. I told myself that a lot. And eventually, I did graduate from my job, valet parking cars at Universal. Actually, I was fired, and so I got a job at the old spaghetti factory on Sunset, which weirdly did feel sort of like a promotion because it was on Sunset Boulevard. But I kept telling myself nobody knows anything, right? Don't quit. And gradually this thing that I love, writing, started to weirdly pay the bills. Whatever the movies were, whether they were made or not, I had the opportunity to write for Angelina Jolie and Halle Berry and Bruce Willis and Julia Roberts, and it was great. And you're going to have similar success if you just stay authentic to who you are. Your passion is what is going to help you navigate the dark times, and there will be dark times, and you probably won't see them coming. Lord knows I didn't. I was writing movies. I was meeting Jack Black at my friend's movie premiere. I was in the room when Julia Roberts is trying on Oscar gowns. Life was good until it wasn't. Cut to 2006. I'm pitching movies and I'm trying to get the next job, and these jobs are getting harder and harder to find, and there's that dirty little three-letter word, job. I couldn't figure out why, but my career sort of went cold. My agents wouldn't call me back. There's a Writers Guild strike, so even if I could get work, I couldn't work. Then in 2008, the Great Recession sort of lands like a grenade in the oatmeal bowl, and thank God, work wasn't all I had. Right? I have this great wife, and we had decided, long before my career started to circle the drain, that we wanted to raise our kids in Nebraska. Like it will be for you, this place will always be part of my story. My wife and I are both from here. We wanted to raise our kids here, and so we moved home, which is not the best choice for an unemployed screenwriter. And there's not a lot of, movie studios advertising the open writing assignments in the back of the Kearney hub. But even if somebody was advertising, they weren't calling me. And yet I still loved writing. I loved it, and I knew that moving home was the right choice for me and for my family. And it took me 20 years to figure out what I wanted my story to be, right? I wanted my story to be a writer and to live here. And so I kept writing. And I thought, who knows, maybe I'll sell a script. Just because I live in the middle of nowhere doesn't mean that I can't. And just because I've never written a TV episode in my life doesn't mean that I can't. And so I found a script online, I sort of found the template, and I thought, okay, I can do this. And I was also, by the way, thinking, William Goldman, nobody knows anything. What I didn't know, but what was different this time is I wasn't trying to sell anything. Right? I wasn't trying to make the studio happy. I didn't care what Julia Roberts, producer, thought of my script. If Hollywood didn't like my silly TV script, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to send me home? I'm home. Right? I just wrote something that surprised me and I thought was weird and it felt silly and fun and like me. And that script was this TV show called The Blacklist. And all of a sudden, I'm working with James Spader. And I have an office at Paramount. And I'm not waiting tables at the old spaghetti factory. I'm feverishly rewriting scripts at a little cafe on Sunset Boulevard as LA City buses are going by with billboards of my show on the side of the bus, a show which is shooting in New York, where there are now nearly 400 people working to bring to life this script that I wrote in Nebraska, in my underwear, by the way. You know what, when the presidents of Sony TV took me out to celebrate, and I told them where I was from, they thought I was nuts. The brass at NBC, I'm sorry, you're from where? Is that near Kentucky? There's a lot of that sort of stuff. The thing is that this thing I was mildly ashamed of, moving home, is actually what makes me unlike anyone else in Hollywood. Do you know how many TV writers there are in Kearney? That's part of my story. It is what makes me different. And your story is what's going to make you different, not just with your career, but with a life balance, right? For me, that's writing, it's family, it's a little bit of volunteer work, it's being invested in my community that helps me stay just marginally sane while working in Hollywood. Which is why I would suggest, and I really mean this, don't forget this place. This community, because as you had said, even if you're not from here, you're from here now. You can live in and be from any number of places, and it took me a long time to figure that out. But the friends you made here, the mistakes you made, the discoveries you have made about yourself, that's part of your story. So if you embrace what you love, and if you do it in an authentic way, if you embrace what makes you different, you will stand out from the crowd, I promise, because we are entering a time where individuality isn't just celebrated, it's rewarded. You are what you are selling, not some degree, but your story, the flaws and all. And by the way, speaking of selling, episode 131 of The Blacklist airs tonight on NBC. It's at 8 p.m. 7 Central, so if you're celebrating, set your DVRs. But guys, look, the punchline is this, okay? You did it. You're a college graduate, and nobody can ever take that away from you. You are off to an incredible start, but it is just that. It is a start, it is a beginning, and it is time for you to go write your story. So make it one that only you can tell, flaws and all, and when people tell you you're nuts, remember, nobody knows anything, okay? Congratulations. Thank you.
John, on behalf of our graduates and the entire UNK community, congratulations and thank you. And now we have arrived at that special moment, the conferring of degrees. We will begin with the awarding of the graduate degrees. Candidates for the graduate degrees will be presented by Dr. Mark Ellis, Dean of Graduate Studies.
Will the candidates for the graduate degrees please rise? Chancellor Christensen, these applicants have completed all the requirements established by the Board of Regents for their respective graduate degrees. Therefore, the graduate faculty recommends that these candidates be granted the graduate degree, along with the privileges and responsibilities that accompany the degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska, and on the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Nebraska at Kearney, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate graduate degree and admit you to all of its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. Matthew Bice, Associate Professor and Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, will read the candidates' names. Hooding the candidates for graduate degrees are Professor of Biology, Janet Steele, Assistant Professor of Art and Design, Mallory Weatherall, Associate Professor of Management, Noel Palmer, and Assistant Professor of Kinesiology and Sports Science, Kazuma Akehi.
The College of Graduate Studies is pleased to recognize the following students: Alexis Madison Page, Ashley L. Callahan, Lane Allen Dinas, Edwin Pierce Fattig, Hannah Louise Fuchs, Gretchen K. McBride, Shaylee Faye Pollard, Lindsay Renee Reinhardt, Mariah Nicole Sorensen, Pamela Lynn Tillman, Anna Karen Vasquez, Katie Marie Wollenberg, Tessa Ann Burford, Marilyn K. Burns, Mary Amanda Canaday Anderson, Megan Regina Chestnut, Robert Ty Guilford, Jorah Catherine Autumn Jackson Brown, Megan Pasbrig, Meredith Elaine Underwood, Ashley Nicole Borer, Tracy K. Britton, Andrew J. Carlton, Rachel Lynn Caraher, Kathleen Beth Craig, Adam Crabelli, Brandy Jean Dannett, Katie Ann Doggett, Carrie Lynn Ehlers, Scott Lee Franzen, Justin R. Gripe, Richard Adrian Goodyjohn, Dylan H. Girdle, Demi Lee Harlan, Nicole Marie Hayner, Emily Elizabeth Jones. Victoria M. Joseph. Amanda Jo Joy. Whitney Beverly Kaminsky. Kelsey K. Kinnison. Tessa Renee Keene. Andrea Jo Lambertus. Jordan Ray Land. Nicole Lee Loop. Christine Laurent Mankin. Malia Eileen Nemasek. Jesse Melissa Nickel. Kayla Ann Paul. David J. Peterman. Ellie Elizabeth Peterson. John Paul Reck. Mallory Jordan Smith. Haley Jordan Schmidt. Emma Marie Shore. Candace Smith. Nicole Marie Stevens. Elizabeth Ann Thompson. Jeremy Clarence Tomzak. Elizabeth Williams. Jody Michelle Wood. Megan K. Zillig. Rachel Christine Caraher. Karen Judith Donor. Shell Shelley Gillen. Carmen Lynn Morgan. Kaylee Ann Berg. Nicole Lynn Broke. Chloe Renee Umbrinica Castro. Jordan Nicole DeVries. Catherine Elizabeth Donahue. Kaylee Sue Eckhout. Brooke Christine Edgren. Kari Marie Emery. Coogan Evan. Stephanie Jo Flint. Carlina Marie Grove. Madison Ann Hagemeister. Elise Hoffman. Megan Lee Hoffman. Rina Horikawa. Brianna K. Johnson. Cassie Lee Quinzen. Emily Catherine Koski. Tara Bell Labins. Morgan Nicole Lambert. Troy Stephen McCulley. Danielle Lee Milos. Megan Elizabeth Naylor. Angela Susan Novacek. Rachel M. Page. Morgan Page Prochnow. Andrea D. Rip. Amber Lynn Schulenberg. Carrie Lynn Slattery. Rachel Marie Suthard. Brooke Renee Sullivan. Kelly Elizabeth Thielen. Hilke Don Brandon. Dustin D. Favinger. Alyssa Joy Kaiser. Savannah Louise Lyon. Leslie Elizabeth Mushik. Rio Suzuki.
Last but not least, huh? No, maybe. Start shaking. Chancellor Christensen, these are the recipients of our graduate degrees. Will you all please join me in extending our congratulations?
At this time, we will confer the undergraduate degrees. Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs, Charles Bisek, will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees please rise? Chancellor Christensen, I am happy to present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in their specialized areas. They have completed all the requirements for the degrees as prescribed by the University of Nebraska at Kearney and the Board of Regents. It is the recommendation of the faculty that they be granted their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska, and upon the recommendation of your faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the baccalaureate degree and admit you to the fellowship of educated women and men with all of its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. The undergraduate degrees will be presented by the deans of the colleges. Peter Longo, College of Arts and Sciences, Tim Burkink, College of Business and Technology, and Cheryl Feinstein, College of Education. Reading the names of the graduates will be Associate Dean and Professor of Biology, Paul Twigg, College of Arts and Sciences, Associate Dean and Associate Professor of Finance, Bree Doherty, College of Business and Technology, and Associate Dean and Associate Professor of Teacher Education, Sherry Crow, College of Education. We will begin with the College of Arts and Sciences.
Hannah Elizabeth Brown. Jessie Brianna Harris. Anthony Vincent Knutson. Emily Jean Lillick. Joanna R. Lind. Noemi Leticia Liscano. Cameron Alexandra Parnell. Bethany Ann Scafidi. Ashley K. Schaefer. Paige Amber Whalen. Danielle Christine Williams. Brendan Gerald Zwiebel. Emily L. Hemmer. Colleen Margaret McGrath. Maggie Rose McPhillips. Pablo Morales Garcia. Megan Kate Schroer. Erica Jane Wood. Caitlin Claire Archer. Tessa Joe Bennett. Travis Burbach. Amelia K. Cooper. Mackenzie L. Crowder. Hannah Rose Hake. Brittany Lynn Hanslick. Evan Shane Jones. Summer Israel Malsbury. Hannah Marie Maupin. Alejandro Antonio Medina. Jamie Lynn Mendenhall. Jessica Dawn Moser. Delaney Nicole Ostransky. Rachel K. Overby. Sadie Elizabeth Peterson. Robert Christopher Campbell. Haley Faye House. Jace Michael Heesier. Maggie Rose Pearson. Lauren Amanda Reichert. Megan Nicole Richardson. Emma Angelica Sanchez. Okay. Tierney J. Casper. Courtney Larson Martin. Minori Yamauchi. Jeff Brock Cruz. Catherine Elizabeth Anilak. Raven Sky Baker. Miley De La Torre. Ryan Allen Fuchs. Cameron Duchesne Marchand. At a commissioning ceremony later today, Mr. Marchand will be commissioned to the UNK Army Reserve Officer Training Corps program as a second lieutenant in the Nebraska National Guard. Let's take a second and recognize Mr. Marchand. Jessica Martinez. Kelly Victoria Schockenmeyer. Dylan Bellis. Austin Aubrey Buckley. Dylan Robert Nickel. Fabiola Valerie Seiler. Eric Eugene Tobin. Brandon James Way. Cheyenne Lynn Marie Adams. McKenna Aarons. Nolan Arlt. Brianna Rose Adama. Cassandra Ann Bailey. Allison McKiley Barwick. Justine Marie Bauer. Morgan Marie Baumert. Brooke Ann Bukowski. Colin Lane Bond. Bradley D. Brown. Matthew Johann Brunkhorst. Cassidy Lee Bruns. Micah Quinn Carlson. Tessa Marie Kopp. Maddie Elizabeth Corvelo. Anthony J. Covarrubias Linares. Garrison Seamus Crowell. Megan Nicole Cunningham. Julia Marie Darrow. Andrew Charles Denman. Mark Anthony Diaz Jr. Mackenzie Sue Douglas. Madison Yvonne Drawny. Darian Ellenwood. Catherine Elizabeth Ernest. Carla Elizabeth Falcon. Marvin Flores. Katie Mae Frankenberg. Ashley Gallus. Kyle Jacob Glant. Damaris Natalie Godoy. Francisca Gonzalez. Jared Alexander Graham. Jeffrey C. Grummert. Colton Kent Hall. Autumn Marie Hallberg. Kate Lynn Hansel. Joshua Logan Hart. Kelsey Claire Hassenstab. Carly Vanessa Hellbush. Timothy Allen Herman. Tyler Andrew Heinrichs. Kendra K. Hoffert. Trevor Royce Haruza. Caitlin Lee Ingram. Taylor Allen Janacek. Eric Manuel Jimenez Ombras. McKaylee Lene Caping. Cassandra Marie Carr. Molly Marie Colbeck. Christian G. Cush. Kyla Marie Kushok Richards. Matthew Jacob Lockemer. Richard John Leonard. Dylan Ryan Liskey. Tanya Giselle Lima. Lacey Leota Lindner. Logan Noel Magner. Callie Elizabeth Miller. Michaela Elsa Nemechek. Giselle Joanna Almos. And at a commissioning ceremony later today, Ms. Almos will be commissioned through the UNK Army Reserve Officer Training Corps program as a second lieutenant in the Nebraska National Guard. Let's take a second and recognize Ms. Almos. Riley Patrick Ostick. Josie Renee Parr. Carmen Ann Pavlik. Brittany Marie Pooler. Jackson Scott Porter. Elaney K. Preby. Riley Richard Pulver. Gerardo Quintero. Shayla Paige Roth. Jonna K. Richter. Rebecca Melita Rodriguez. Renee Sylvia Jones. Ruth Ella Rebke. Ana Maria Romero Esquivel. Lucille A. Salgado Antunes. Adam Jacob Schlottenhauer. Kristen Louise Cerna. Olivia Ann Slazowski. Brady Jerome Stoner. Laura Jane Stoner. Zachary Michael Sutton. Shane Allen Swanson. Sarah Susanna Sinek. Kristen Marie Tomjack. Leslie Nicole Towery. Evan Eugene Uden. Whitney Jade Walker Moore. Allison Michelle Waltman. Victoria J. Wickizer. Natasha Anastasia Winfield. Hannah Marie Woodward. Tara Ziegelbein. Caitlin Allison Zytek. Jackson Paul Barnes. Riley Couch. Raimundo Nava. Logan Edward Cyril. Samuel George Bascom. Jabrenton Davis. Joel Matthew Fisher. Catherine Joan Kowalski. Danielle Renee Spencer. Chinako Tanaka. Christian M. Uragutia. Hinako Yusui. Ashlyn E. Wood. And Madison Joy Yeiter.
The College of Business and Technology is proud to announce the following graduates. Haley Joelle Platt. Pamela S. Felix. Jessica L. Whitmere. Abby Teresa Alt. Brent Wayne Anderson. Kevin Daniel Andrade. Jose Alvarado Perez. Emily Jean Bauer. Allison M. Beacom. Davis D. Becker. John Emil Beeson. Catherine Carol Benner. Yehoshua Verdugo. Trey L. Blanco. Andrew John Briney. Elizabeth Ann Broadfoot. Shalisa Marie Lee Brooks. Colin David Brown. Nicholas Clark Rungard. Carter Janning Burns. Mason Marie Carlson. Shangpen Chen. David G. Chul. Irissa Irene Cisneros. Tyler James Kratoski. Tristan James Crook. Isaac Madison Deaton. Stephen Wayne Fairchild Dees. Octavio Di Santiago Delgado. Danielle Marie Dickerson. Ting Ding. Allison Nicole Dosey. Madison Elizabeth Dowling. Courtney Alexandria Dryfirst. Veronica Marie Duran. Alex Eamon. Amber Susan Erickson. Shelby May Ferguson. Sierra Lynn Fisher. Marcus Allen Fox. Emily Ann Franzen. Thomas Everett Geiger. Caitlin M. Gerlach. Andy Estrado Gonzalez. Savannah Nicole Goodall. Brian L. Gura. Morgan Elizabeth Guy. Megan V. Hayden. Dalton John Hand. Sydney Lorraine Hansen. Hannah Jo Harden. Nolan Francis Harrington. Hannah Marie Hibbard. Trenda Renee Hollertz. Matthew Marcus Huffman. Ren Ito. Rachel D. Jack. Yvette Lourdes Jimenez. Zachary Scott Jordaning. Pate Christopher Katechis. Jacqueline Marie Kerner. Hannah Phelan King. Dakota Dwayne Klingsporn. James P. Kramer. Logan M. Cradle. Garrett Clayton Kreitzer. Lucas Ray Kinn. Lindsay Marie Lammers. Vanessa Jo Larimore. Renee L. Lazo. Nathan Joseph Lemmer. Bailey Joe Leonard. Justin J. Liveringhouse. Kylie Marie Longwell. Danielle Marez. Rachel Elizabeth McGill. Stephanie Montserrat Medina. Joseph Anthony Meister. Brianna Lynn Miller. Megan Marie Motis. Jacob Matthew Mumbley. Grant Everett Myers. Tracy Renee Myers. Holly R. Nickerson. Yusuke Nogi. Alexa Renee Obermeyer. Calvin John Oakes. Megan Ann Ockinga. Kyle Joseph O'Neill. Callie Marie Obrook. Wesley Roland Orr. Lucas Matthew Patternus. Drew Allen Perkins. Miranda Nicole Peterson. Kale Christian Preble. Augusta Lee Rhodes. Ryan Scott Rice. Jesus Manuel Rodriguez. Elizabeth Renee Roney. Kendall Ray Schroer. Jacob Sempek. Andrew William Shanka. Darianne Lee Sisson. Amanda Mary Catherine Slattery. Kelsey McKenna Sloop. Kayloni Ray Spangler. Ty Bridger Spies. Adam Brian Starr. Jessica Ann Timashek. Kelly Elizabeth Thompson. Dylan Blake Tymire. Celia Sue Timms. Robert Trey Walter. Noah Watson. Anna Marjorie Wagner. Grant Richard Welniak. Benjamin G. Wenke. Abby Nicole Workmeister. Madison Ray Wallen. Skylar J. Willis. Richard Arthur York. Nidia Teresa Zavala Cortez. Clinton Robert Ziegers.
The faculty and staff of the College of Education is so proud and pleased to present our graduates of Spring 2019, the finest new educators in the state of Nebraska. Flor Azucena Acosta Marquez. Paige Marie Andrzejewski. Molly Lynn Atkinson. Mackenzie Sue Abishan. Megan Ann Benson. Jessica Lynn Burst. Carly Irene Bochi. Christian A. Bradley. Kristen Marie Circo Burbach. Armando Chavez. At a commissioning ceremony later today, Mr. Chavez will be commissioned through the UNK Army Reserve Officer Training Corps program as a second lieutenant in the Nebraska National Guard. Way to go, Armando. Heather Jo Doggett. Skylar Andrew MD. Skylar Ray Erickson. McLean Elizabeth Narber. Julie Anna Bruns. Shelby Jeanne Farr. Alexis K. Fleehardy. Abigail May Graham. Stephanie L. Hansen. Courtney M. Harwager. Travis Wade Hoover. Emily Sue Cush. Danica Lee Lease. Lillian Scott Luter. Vincent James Lyons. Alyssa Ann Marty. Madison Noel McCauley. Danny Rose McKay. Caitlin Moore. Gabriella Anna Nickel. Cecilia Gabriela Nunez Betancourt. Lindsay Renee Ott. Michelle Marie Oxford. Erin Royal Peterson. Tiffany Rachel Prott. Madeline Claire Roth. Ashley Rose Ryan. Allison Joan Sawyer. Haley D. Schmidt. Cypress Paige Sharilla. Logan T. Simmerman. Bailey Lynn Simonson. William Branson Sinnard. Katie Slattery. Samantha K. Snogren. Margaret Spencer. Taylor Ann Stewart. Bailey Brianne Streff. Alexandra Lee Stumer. Danielle D. Tilley. Tiffany Ann Baberchek. Tracy Elizabeth May Wall. Michaela Elaine Webster. Jenna Lynn Ackerman. Mackenzie Cheyenne Anderson. Ellie Claire Arduzer. Natasha Bell Ashley. Amber Lorraine Bendig. Jamie Dawn Burbeck. Tyson Jeffrey Block. Tyan Barrett Boyer. Jessica Lynn Bragg. Lorenzo A. Kavanaugh. Jeremy A. Sissel. Caitlin Irene Davis. Bethany Florence Dolzal. Peyton Victoria Ellis. Brianna Marie Erickson. Bailey Ray Flores. Bailey Louise Folk. Nathan Ryan Gill. Gabriela Gracia. Sydney Paige Harbaugh. Kimberly Hope Behrens. Allison Rose Hirschman. Kelsey Ann Yen. Marshall Scott Jeldon. Tyler Joseph Leopold. Alex Christopher Lufer. Kevin D. Marker. John William Masker. Britton T. Munster. Takahiro Nakotsu. Yudi Nishikawa. Francis M. Meldner. Kyler David Fingston. Peyton Paul Pocock. Brady Nicholas Raddick. Jordan Danielle Reese. Ethan Vincent Sandman. Shelby Nicole Sutora. Cliffond Taylor. Johanna Grace Wagner. Zachary Bryant Welch. Paula Lee Zakrzewski. Rachel J. Beck. Theodore Dean Degner. Bailey Lucille Dostal. Shaylin Joe Ferguson. Elliot Gordon Ganella. Hannah Marie Heil. Leah Nicole Hendrickson. Shelby Ann Heinrichs. Keaton John Klimek. Casey Jean Luke. Darian Marie Myers. Courtney Joe Rich. Catherine Ann Roberts. Allison Dawn Rouse. Daniel J. Schroer. Madison Sophie Slope. Lindsay Joe Taylor. Heather Victoria Walsh. Shelby Joe Webster. Macy Elizabeth Wingard. Elizabeth Charlotte Wright. Sky Zalman. Daniel Hernandez.
Chancellor Christensen, these are the baccalaureate degree recipients. Will all of you please join me in extending our congratulations to them?
John Bogenkamp, what a pleasure and honor to have you here today. Thank you so much. Graduates, yeah, you can give him that. That's great. I need a little help. At this time, I'd ask everyone in the audience who is a UNK or a Kearney State graduate or normal school for a couple of you, would you please stand for a moment? Everybody who's a graduate of the institution, everywhere. Thank you. Now, please stay standing. And what I would like you to do is help me with the turning of the tassels. Graduates, this is a time-honored tradition. It symbolizes your transition from candidate to graduate. Would all of you stand and at this time? This is the newest graduating class of 2019. Graduates, now is the time to turn your tassel. Congratulations to each one of you. You all may be seated. At this time, I have a few people that we'd like to recognize and thank. First of all, I'd like to recognize and have you meet our distinguished faculty. They are second to none. They have made you tremendous graduates through their knowledge and understanding what our faculty and emeriti faculty. Would you please stand and receive our appreciation? You may be seated. We have staff who have worked literally hours and days to make today possible. The list is way too long. I'd love to single them out, and some year I will. But today we're running as close. I want to be done by noon, and I got to hurry. But would the staff who made today possible, could we give them a sign of our appreciation? Graduates, I can't guarantee you success the rest of your life, but I can guarantee you this: you've received the best training possible to be successful. You have contributed a great deal to our community. The taxpayers have contributed a lot to your education. You owe them something back. Go back into those communities wherever you're from or wherever you're going to go and become active in them and make great contributions just as you did here. Lastly, I can't tell you how appreciative we are that you chose UNK. We're very proud of this institution. But the reason we're proud of this institution is because of you. Thank you so much for doing that. Again, congratulations. And for those of you, look, you all stayed. What a great deal. We still think that reading each name is really important. Thank you for staying. I think that's a great sign of respect for your graduates. We appreciate everybody coming today.
Thank you, Chancellor. And thanks to all of you for attending today's ceremony. Audience, please remain seated until the recessional has been completed. University Marshal and student gonfaloniers, would you please prepare for the recessional? Will the stage party please stand? Head Marshal Garrison, Dr. Bierman, you may begin the recessional.